From the time the sun rises over the St. Johns River, the Bulldogs, the Gators, and their fans open their eyes to another college football Saturday and know something special is about to happen in Jacksonville. It's great for us to be a part of it as well. The Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, and our matchup, the 8th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs, the number 6 Gators of Florida, and half orange and blue, half red and black, just like it's always been since 1892. And so much on the line, as it always seems on an annual basis. As you take a look at the SEC East standings, Florida on top, the Georgia Bulldogs right on their heels. Whoever wins this one is in the driver's seat for a trip to Atlanta and the SEC Championship. And we welcome you, everybody. Brad Nestle, we're Gary Danielson. Partner, we wait for this on a yearly basis. It's the 7th time in all these years that both teams have been ranked in the top 10, second year in a row, and everything on the line again.
You know, Brad, and I think both teams feel like they're going to play their best football from now on. Florida playing a little bit better. Georgia's dying to play this game after a couple tough games.
Yeah, you know, that's it. At the beginning of the year, everybody said, well, it's Georgia and Alabama, and that's it. And, well, now there's more doubters maybe for Georgia than the backers.
It is. They had a rough game and then a washout game, you know. So now it's the opportunity to play a game that they've been looking forward to. You know, some of those games they thought they'd throw their helmets out and win. South Carolina beat them. They know Florida's for real.
Well, they're going to go back to what they do best, I think.
I think so, too. There's a lot of talk about should they open it up, throw the ball deep. Yes and yes. But they shouldn't get away with, I think, maybe the best football player running the ball in this conference, DeAndre Swift. He is a home run waiting to happen every play. That Florida defense has to know that one missed tackle at the line of scrimmage, he could take it to the house. Now, Jake Fromm, a couple weeks ago, South Carolina, had a tough game. A couple 3 interceptions, had one before that, then a rain game. You know, he's been waiting for this game to get there, tee it up, and show his fans, his teammates, and his coaches that he can still play the game.
Well, the guy on the other side for Florida showed his team his toughness. Kyle Trask. I don't know if there's been in the state of Florida a guy to come in for an injured quarterback since Earl Morrill took over for Bob Greasy in '72 to do what this guy's done. He went down against Auburn. We thought maybe the season was even over. Not only did he come out of the locker room, he led him to a win. And now both teams having had a week off, you get some guys healthy. And on defense for Florida, they get a couple guys back that are huge.
They do. And I think this is the matchup that Florida has to win and Georgia has to control. The 2 defensive ends, Jonathan Grenard and Jabari Zuniga. These 2 guys are players not just in the passing game, in the running game. No matter what direction you run, you have to account for their speed. If you're running away from, they'll run it from the backside. You run at them, they'll run under a block. If you want to watch some football, watch the big tackles for Georgia. Thomas and Wilson against these 2 stars from Florida.
As the Gators in their home blue jerseys consider the home team today, the number 6 team in the land. 3rd member of our team down on that field is Jamie Erdahl.
Brad, it was a timely set of bye weeks for both of these teams. As we all know, health can play such a factor in playing successful November football. Well, the rich get richer if you ask Kyle Trask, because he has another successful wide receiver coming back into the lineup. You mentioned those 2 defensive guys. Well, Kadarius Toney is back on the offensive side of the ball after missing a half a dozen games with a shoulder collarbone injury. You can't ask a Florida coach without hearing the word explosive when you think of Toney's abilities within these offense. Lining up against him, potentially for Georgia, is cornerback Tyson Campbell. He missed 4 games with a small but mighty injury called turf toe. On that defensive front, Tavon Walker returns. And Jake Fromm should be happy. He's got Lawrence Cager back after dealing with a shoulder and rib injury. Kirby told me we cannot limit Cager within this offense. He might take a hit here and there, but that doesn't mean that we have to limit him. He's got to be big for Jake Fromm today.
Thanks, Jamie. Weather cloudy all day, but perfect for football. 66 degrees in Jacksonville. It was 90 at about 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon. Georgia is ahead in the all-time series. They started playing this game in Jacksonville in 1933. When each is ranked, it's 10-10-1. When each is in the top 10, it's 3-3. Today means everything to these 2 clubs as far as a possible trip to Atlanta. Rodrigo Blankenship's got it teed up as Georgia won the toss and deferred. And Freddie Swain and Tyree Cleveland, as you see right down the goalpost, orange and blue, red and black. Half and half in the stadium. And Florida will start things at the 25-yard line. As we take a look at the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And it all starts with number 11, Kyle Trask, coming off a career-high game 2 weeks ago in the win over South Carolina with 4 touchdown passes.
Cannot imagine he's going to be overwhelmed with this scene. You play at LSU. You faced a great defense of Auburn already. He should be calm and ready to play.
The Gators had a disastrous start last year in this game with turnovers early. That's what they want to avoid, as Dan Mullen told Jamie in the pregame show. Quick toss, and that's a good one. Complete first down. Kyle Pitts, the tight end, and the rest of the offense for the Gators. And both coaches talked about this guy forever yesterday.
Yes.
Whether you're Dan Mullen or you're Kirby Smart trying to defend him, and right off the bat, he's got his first catch and a first down.
He lined up, even though he says he's a tight end on the lineup, he lined up in the slot wide. Now he will line up in the tight end position to the right side of the formation.
So one play, one first down to the 39. Michael Pirine. Tough yard. Malik Herring made the stop for Georgia. Defensively for the Dogs, and they've been pretty stingy. They're the top defense in the SEC, led by Monty Rice. Their top tackler, he had a career-high 11 tackles and an all-important forced fumble in this matchup a year ago. So we'll give Pirine a yard at second down and 9.
I was going to set up what I thought would be the pressure point in the game, but I couldn't even get to it. Man, Pitts catches a pass already.
From the 40, Pirine flanking Trask in the Gator gun. Play action. Trask got it to Pitts again, and another first down. Great start for the Florida offense so far.
So far, he's lined up in the slot. He's lined up at tight end right. This time he lines up in tight end left. And you can see Dan Mullen, he's trying to distort the Georgia defense by establishing his pressure point with the tight end. He feels if he can do that, the next adjustment goes to Kirby Smart.
He says with Van Jefferson and Kyle Pitts, it's where's Waldo. Trask is under center with Pirine behind him. He gets the toss and delays, and now gets into the secondary, and he's almost got a first down.
And that play was defended. Georgia was ready for it. Tyler Clark came around the edge, and a Pirine with a good cut. He saw he could not get wide. Watch him come out. He wants to go wide. Nope. Has to cut back behind it and makes a positive place. Second and very short. Could do anything here. Remember a year ago, Dan Mullen started out the game with a flea flicker.
That backfired.
And had it open. Didn't
hit it.
Didn't hit it.
It's second down at about a foot. Pirine. Oh, I don't think he got it. Going to be third down and about a foot. Depending on where they spot it.
Pull both guards. Kyle Pitts has to pin down on the play. Come around from the outside.
Malik Herring made a nice play from the backside there.
Sure did. He ran it down. If you go back to the South Carolina game a few weeks ago, South Carolina hurt Georgia with the pulling both guards the whole game. Didn't gain a lot of yards, but it was effective.
Now, when you got a guy that weighs 240 pounds and he's 6'5", don't you just want a quarterback sneak here center? It's third down and less than 1.
I like that strategy. Plus, you're able to push him nowadays.
Here's a quick throw out to Pirine, and he's got the first down.
See, that's the stress you put on a defense in modern college football. You put your tight end to the wide side at the top and your running back to the bottom. How do you line up versus this stuff? Easy play. Wide receivers are blocking, pitch and catch. Well-designed play by this Florida offensive staff.
The runner did not make the first down. He's down on the 40-yard line. It will be 4th and 1 at that spot.
Now it's decision time. I think it would be a bad message to your team not to go for it here, wouldn't it?
They're 9 out of 16 on fourth downs this season, and I don't think any of them have been any shorter than this.
Yeah, I think you got to go for this. I mean, last year we were here when Georgia had, what, 7 or 8 plays in a goal line stand?
Yeah, that's right. Now here you go, first big play of the game.
Well, big Jordan Davis, 325 pounds, is right over the center here.
Trask is in the shotgun, unless he'll come up under center.
They might try to draw him off.
He backpedals now. He's going to throw for it. Flares it out, and it's broken up by Georgia.
Boy, that says a whole lot, doesn't it, about what Dan Mullen thinks about how he can run the ball against this Georgia front. If you're watching football, you're saying, wait a second here. We had second and short, third and short, fourth and short, and we're going to throw a one-on-one route. Great coverage that time by LeCount.
Richard LeCount breaks up the play, and Georgia will take over offensively with the first big stop. And the reaction from the head coach. That close. Georgia takes over offensively as we take a look at our Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And it starts with the captain of the offense, number 11, Jake Fromm. 29-6 as a starter in a Georgia uniform. At the 40-yard line. DeAndre Swift runs into a pack of Gators. Maybe got a yard out of it. Offensively joining Jake Fromm and company. Gary talked about Zuniga and Grenard and the effect they have, and that puts some pressure on the tackles, Isaiah Wilson and Andrew Thomas. And they're good ones.
Yes, they are.
Between the two of them, they average 6'6", 330. Grenard, who can be a game wrecker, standing up right now. Now he'll put his hand in the dirt. 2nd and 9. And hit in the backfield immediately, and it's Zuniga all over Swift. Well, that time the tackle didn't do his job very well.
Well, it's the quickness. He lined up inside in what is called a bear front. They cover up the inside players. Zuniga's inside, Moon is outside, but Zuniga is the guy that makes the play. And Isaiah Wilson just too slow off the snap.
He whiffed on that one. And it's 3rd down and long.
And that brings back memories of last year when Zuniga was coming around the corner making those plays in the run game. It's just not the passing game that those two guys have an influence on the game.
3rd down and 14. Fromm's first pass down the middle, complete. On the run is Cager, and he got there, I think, very close.
Boy, that is some poor zone defense by Florida. 3rd and long, and you allow a guy to make a play like that. It's a dump-off play. Georgia's playing it very soft, just a little dump-off play to the middle, and I think it was Terry Deaton, number 21, that took the bad angle. He got to the outside and makes the first down.
Cager being back, we thought would make a difference. He did on that play. Got 15 on 3rd and 14. And Georgia in Gator territory at the 49.
That was great protection by that line last that play for Georgia on 3rd and long.
Georgia's only given up 4 sacks on the season of Jake Fromm, who's all alone in the backfield on 1st down. Gonna loft one deep. And almost intercepted by the secondary back there. Sean Davis almost had the interception.
Sometimes you get beat, and sometimes you're the guy that beats the defense. Watch, he was beat before in a quickness, but watch, he evens it up here. Now it's 1-1. Isaiah Wilson buries Zuniga on that one. Pass is underthrown, and this could have been picked up. You're right, Brad. That was poorly underthrown that time by Jake Fromm.
He was intending the pass for Demetrius Robertson.
He's lucky he got away with that one.
Yep.
That should have been a pick.
2nd and 10. And now Fromm under center. Brian Harrion behind him, and Harrion will get the call, and he's wrapped up for a loss. Jawan Taylor made first contact for the Gators. Their defense, C.J. Henderson and Marco Wilson, when they're out there and they have that front in front of them to apply pressure as good as any two corners around.
Well, you can see the game plan for Florida. And Todd Gratham, on second down and first down, he's wanting to cover up the inside play, offensive linemen and use the bare front. 5 defensive linemen are out there. Third and long again. Last time Georgia held them out.
They got 15 on 3rd and 14. Can they get 11 here? Extra man on the rush. Fromm fires complete. First down to Robertson.
And give it to the protection. That time Florida brings 5. And it is picked up. That took a long time for that receiver to cross the field. But watch these guys inside. It's one extra rusher. Reese gets picked up on the bottom, allows Jake to step into it, and a long throw across the field. Terry Dean gets beat again. Third down, could it be the story this year? Because it was the story in last year's game.
All 3 of the touchdown passes Jake Fromm threw last year on 3rd down.
Yep.
So 2 big 3rd downs in this drive. That one picked up 17 to the Gator 33. Fromm to throw again, maybe. He's going to run with it. Gets what he can, dives around the 30. Jake doesn't run a lot, but he's a pretty good athlete, and that time he got what he could and brings up 2nd and 7.
Trying to go hurry up. A lot of space right here, a lot of space.
Fromm down the middle, tipped, incomplete. It was intended for Charlie Warner, the tight end.
Oh, I thought he should have gone to Eli Wolf on that play. Thought he should have gone left. Had a lot of space to throw with outside technique right here. He ended up going to his right. Thought he could have looked off and got it to 17, Eli Wolf, for an easier throw.
Threw to the wrong tight end.
Yes.
Broken up by Jawan Taylor, who's made a couple nice plays in this opening quarter. 3rd down and 6. Can Georgia keep living on 3rd down? So far, so good. 3rd and 14, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 1 here. 3rd and 6.
Cager's his most comfortable thrower, and he's on the outside on the bottom.
Now he's going to move toward the line of scrimmage. Here's the throw out to Harrion. He's got a first down. Just enough.
Ness, you know, you don't want to lose a game right before a bye. And for a couple weeks now, the talk has been, is our offensive coordinator, James Coley, good enough to call these plays? But you know what? He's pitching a perfect game in the call so far in this game.
Just inside the 12. First down. Fromm's got all day. Throws out. Good thing that Harrion didn't hold on to that. He would have lost about 5 yards. Ventrell Miller was over there covering. So Fromm 4 for 7 so far for Jake in this opening drive.
Here comes Ben Cleveland into the game. Now Georgia has 6 offensive linemen in the game. Cade Mays goes to the tight end position to the right. Cleveland's at right guard. This is actually an extra tackle or lineman in the game.
Let's see if DeAndre Swift runs that way. He'll come the other way. And didn't pay off. Dropped for a loss. Kyrie Campbell submarined him. And it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, Kyrie Campbell beat the block right across right there. They could not. There was no room because the nose tackle takes a back door and Cleveland could not clean it up. He went behind the center, Trey Hill, and Cleveland could not cut him off.
15th play of the drive coming up. They're perfect on 3rd down so far, but they're going to have to earn this one as well.
About the same spot in the game when J.J. Holloman got that pass to the corner of the end zone, a busted coverage last year.
They're going to have to hustle here to get the play off. And they just did. Fromm, look out from behind, goes the other way. Nobody home over there except the camera guys.
I don't think the Georgia team were all on the same page. That was somewhat of a busted play there on 3rd and long. Bunch formations. You can watch the edge rushers coming from the backside. Lucky to get it off, but nobody in the end zone to throw to. Even if he would have completed, I don't think there was right routes run by the Georgia receivers on that play.
There's the numbers for Rodrigo Blankenship this year. 12 out of 14. He's had 1 blocked out of a Jake Camarda hold. This will be a 30-yard attempt to try to put Georgia on the board first, and he's got it. So a good-looking opening drive started at the 40-yard line after the defense held. They were perfect on third down until the last one. Had to settle for 3. Dogs 3-0. And Rodrigo blasts this one out of the back of the end zone. So Florida will start from the 25-yard line.
There's that shift again. See that late shift by Georgia.
Trask, plenty of time. Lofts one. He's got Pitts wide open again. All the way out near midfield.
Just a standard formation, but the motion confused the Georgia defense. Put the receiver in motion right here to the outside, and then you cross Pitts across the field. A lot of time to throw this ball. Good protection by that Florida offensive line.
It's been a little bit of a problem for Georgia applying pressure on the quarterback. They're 10th in the conference in sacks. And as Gary said, Trask had all day to deliver that one.
Kadarius Toney
on the handoff with blockers in front, pushes one of his blockers down, which was Pitts, and he's getting back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Jamie told you he returns from injury. He's a big play kind of guy. He's been out since week 2 with a shoulder problem. And Toney, one play, and out he comes. Gain nothing, so it's 2nd down and 10. The team that rushes best has won 13 straight. And so far, Florida hasn't done anything on the ground. Play action. Down goes Trask, courtesy of Azeez Ojulari. Just when I said they were having trouble sacking the quarterback, number 13 comes up with one.
Well, he lines up on the right side of the Georgia defense, the left side for this Florida offense. Nice stunt called that time, executed very well inside between he and Devontae Wyatt, and that put the sack on Kyle Trask.
Ojulari, a redshirt freshman out of Marietta, Georgia, with the sack. 4.5 for him this year and a loss of 10.
Deep zone, just like Florida did not execute earlier.
Double pump by Trask, lays it out there, incomplete. Intended for LaMichael Pirine, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, I thought it was a good timeout by Kirby Smart. It's 3rd and very long. You can't have a mistake in lining up, give Florida a 1st down and keep the ball. You're going to get the ball back if you play your defense soundly, and they did.
So our first punt of the game upcoming. Tommy Townsend out there for Florida. Dominic Blaylock back deep for Georgia. Blaylock's only had 1 return this year. High, deep kick. Blaylock waits on it, takes it at the 10. Got away from the first 2. And maybe got 6 or 7 out of it. 1st down at the 29. DeAndre Swift has been bottled up so far, and he will be bottled up again here. Might have gotten 2 yards to bring the first quarter down to a close. Hard-fought battle between the Gators and the Dogs. We played a quarter. Georgia on a Blankenship field goal leads 3-0. We'll return to Jacksonville after this message and a word from your local station. Back in Jacksonville, Home Depot, SEC and CBS. Long-time rivalry between Georgia and Florida. We played a quarter, and it's the Dogs by 3 as we open up quarter number 2. 2nd down and 9 for Jake Fromm on the handoff. James Cook, and Cook gets it down for a pickup of about 5. Welcome back to the office, everybody. Brad Nessler, Gary Anderson. 15 minutes we played with these two defenses. We didn't expect it to be the Breeders' Cup or anything.
No. How many years has it been? 13 years rushing won the game? First quarter, just to show you how this game is unfolding. Georgia had 7 yards rushing. Florida, none. The 7 yards were by a run by Jake Fromm. Different type of game this year.
They only missed 1 third down conversion in the first quarter. That led to the field goal attempt. Here they've got 3rd down and 3. the field, down the middle, and complete to the tight end, Charlie Warner, with a first down. He caught one ball last year in this game for 35 yards. They don't use the tight end a lot. That was a good-looking play there.
Watch DeAndre Swift handle the stunt here from Florida. Picks it up, gets Moon, and stones him. That's why Jake Fromm had time to throw that ball down the middle.
Charlie Warner, whose uncle Scott was on the 1980 national championship team for Georgia. And that kind of all started with Buck Bellew to Lindsey Scott back in '80 in this matchup against the Gators. From the 45. Swift, pretty good run that time. Picked up about 5. Diabate made the stop from the linebacker position.
Got the extra lineman in the game right now. Georgia had 6 offensive linemen on first down. Now Ben Cleveland goes out and they bring the tight end in.
In the backfield will be Harrion. Matt Landers joins the wide receiver core as well here for Georgia. At the 40-yard line. Florida thinking about coming off the corner. From pump fakes once, now goes deep. And a flag flies in. C.J. Henderson with a pass interference on Matt Landers.
Brad, C.J. Henderson did everything right until the end of the play. It's double move. Watch this. Landers is going to stop, go. Henderson's right in phase, and then what happens?
Pass interference on the defense, number 1. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Done a lot of games where they've been letting a lot of that stuff go, okay? And now Dan Mullins and I've watched football on the bye week, and they're letting everybody do this. Oh, he's got his hand inside the collar of Landers, and that's what got caught. He put his hand in the collar.
I said that Landers had joined the wide receiver core because he's 6'5", and there was no doubt that that's where Jake Fromm was going to aim that pass from the get-go.
Yeah, you can't panic. CJ should know that. He got hurt in last year's game, does everything right, and then right at the end grabs the receiver.
First down just outside the 25. High snap, got it handed off to Harrion. Maybe 2.5. David Reese, leader in tackles, middle linebacker with the stop. Jamie?
Well, they continue to use Jabari Zuniga in a very limited capacity. He's trying to keep that ankle warm on the sideline. Middle linebacker Jeremiah Moon also just went to the locker room, which is bad news because he's the one that rotates in with Jonathan Bernard.
Yeah, good call, Jamie.
Yeah, and I don't know if Bernard, coming off an injuries himself, can go long distance a lot of plays. They probably want to keep his snap count down.
This snap is 2nd and 7 for Georgia at the Gator 22. Fromm throws out in the flat a little bit low, but Harrion caught this one, trying to get to the sticks. He'll be 2 or 3 yards shy. Throw that pass to Swift earlier. He didn't get it. That one Harrion took around the knees. Still 3rd and short. But 3rd down has been good compared to the Kentucky game. But of course that one was in a monsoon. That's Robertson in motion. Here comes the extra man for Florida. Fromm fires, and it is caught by Cager.
C.J. Henderson covered it so good, he thought the ball would be to the outside, and it ends up, he tries to knock it down with the back of his hand.
Now, did the ball touch the ground there?
Oh, yeah, that might be, that's not going to be a catch. The ball touched, and then it moved. Boy, Gene's got to help us on this one. I think that they're going to overturn this one. Gene, welcome to the world of college football. The ball
We're
clearly,
right at that moment.
The ball,
Yeah, I agree, Gary. I think right at that moment, you see that football come away from him, and he has not possessed that prior to contact in the ground.
The ball clearly touches the ground.
Dan Mullen can only smile sarcastically.
Exactly. Like we need to play against that replay.
1st and goal for Georgia. Meanwhile, back to the live action at the 10-yard line. DeAndre Swift trying to get to the edge. DeAndre Swift down to the 4. Remember what goal to goal was like last year, Gary?
Yep, there were 8 plays, 7 stops. There was a penalty in there, but this was almost a legendary stand. Actually, it was. They held them to a field goal, but 7 stops, and then the 8th one, Kirby takes the field goal and puts 3 points on the board. Can they do it again?
Georgia fans are saying, why did you have to show those 7 replays?
Well, they won the game. I think they should take it.
Second to go. They switch the tight end, Eli Wolf, over on the right side. DeAndre Swift into the middle of the pack. Might have gotten a yard. That's it.
I think Jake Fromm's looking over the bench, said, let me have the ball here. You know what? We tried this. I remember just a year ago. Let me have the ball and try to, with a zone keep and come off the edge. He looked over at the bench, and I think he wants the ball. I'll tell you, Florida's going to come after him. This guy, who's he covering? He's coming.
Third to go. Play fake. Fromm throws out in the flat, completes it. It is a touchdown to Dominic Blaylock.
I'll tell you, nice design this time. The short motion by Georgia forced the bump and run coverage of Florida to back off. This motion by Blaylock, 2 guys in this wing spot, forced the defender not to be able to get his hand on him. Terry Dean could not get his hand on Blaylock, and that opened up the lane. Wonderful design by Georgia.
Blankenship in for the point after. Up and good. Again, third down seems to be the charm today so far for the Georgia Bulldogs. First there was a catch that maybe shouldn't have been, but Georgia says we'll take it. That was from the 10-yard line. They get down closer, and Jake Fromm finds Dominic Blaylock for the 3rd time this year. And it's Georgia up 10-0. And so far it's the red and black with the lead 10-0. A 59-yard drive and 10 plays. Took 6 minutes and 19 seconds for Georgia to find the end zone.
Now, if you're Florida, you're not going to win a lot of football games when a team goes 8 for 10 on you on 3rd down. That's 10 chances to get the ball back, and 8 times Georgia kept it.
You can't get off the field. You can't stop anybody. Empty backfield for Kyle Trask here. As P. Ryan is down at the running back in a slot to the left side. Trask down the middle and caught by Pitts off his shoe tops. And he's on the run all the way into Georgia territory. He's been the main man and maybe the only man so far today for the Gators.
He was matched up with Richard LeCount that time, number 2. One-on-one, it's a tough matchup for a safety. He's almost a wide receiver. And Kyle Trask puts him right on him that time.
29-yard pickup to the Georgia 46. Approaching the 4-minute mark of the quarter. Trask play action, deep middle again, and again he's got his man. This time it's Freddie Swain. 2 big chunk plays for Florida.
This time it's Devon Wilson, number 1, that is trying to play the slot position. Swain gets behind him. Look at the open space that Kyle Trask sees. It's a zone coverage that time. And boy, if you're a guy like Trask who throws timing, he knows where that ball's going before the snap, and he put it right there.
29-yard pickup and then a 23-yarder after it. Georgia delayed blitz. Trask fires to the corner. Incomplete. Intended for Copeland. And Eric Stokes was covering and says, I didn't touch him.
One-on-one. Gets to the outside. Good phase. Perfect phase. No, nothing there. No. Good coverage. I think it's Emory Jones coming in the football game, isn't it?
Indeed it is. The backup quarterback. Number 5, Emory Jones. Redshirt freshman, also a Georgia native out of LaGrange. Tight end switches sides. And it's a run all the way for Jones, trying to get to the corner. And it's Monty Rice who brought him down after a short gain.
Well, you're pretty sure he's going to run it. He's the third leading rusher on this Florida team. Has 116 yards coming into this football game.
He comes out, Trask comes back in.
Yes, and it's a wholesale change for this. Once there's a substitution, Kirby's allowed to put his dime package in the game. He's got his pass rushers out there now.
Florida 0 for 3 on third down. 3rd and 8 here. Pirine will flush out of the Gator backfield. Trask looks right, comes back across the middle. It's tipped and incomplete. Somebody got a hand on it in the middle. Might have been Trayvon Walker.
I think that's who it was. Former 5-star recruit, and there's a bunch of them on this Georgia team. That substitution allowed number 44, I think that's him. He may be on the other side. He was on the other side, defensive tackle. Gets some push inside against Heggie. Number 44 right there, and then gets his paw up last second. Just enough to get it away.
That forces a field goal attempt of 38 yards for Evan McPherson, who's 8 of 9 on the year. They haven't asked him to kick a lot. Kick is up and good. So 2 big pass plays from Trask to Pitts and then Swain, but then the tip pass forces the field goal. 54-yard drive in 6 plays. Gators had to settle for 3. So Florida on the board with a field goal.
I really thought that was a big drive for Florida. Remember, Georgia will get the ball to start the second half. Had to put some points on the board. They did it, 10-3, but just enough time for Jake Fromm. Remember last year in this game, he hit 4 passes to Isaac Nada to put him in almost position to score.
Almost the same play to Nada, about 3 of those. Brian Harrigan takes the kickoff on the fly at the 10. Nice little juke move, cuts outside, and a nice return out to the 32. Don't see a lot of kick returns. That was a good one. This time, gets around one man. Here he goes. Swift. Finally, broke free.
Yeah, Ventrell Miller, 51, had a chance for the tackle. Inside linebacker. Watch him jump right over him. Just goes down and shoe dusts them. Marco Wilson had a chance as well, but what a run by Swift.
To the 24, and now Fromm throwing to the corner, just off the hands of Matt Landers. Georgia went hurry up, and they went for all of it on that throw.
And look at the matchup James Coley had. The offensive coordinator produced a matchup with Landers going against a linebacker to the outside. Amari Bruni is going, oh my gosh, this is a bad matchup, and I thought that was going to be a touchdown.
So 2nd and 10 at the Gator 24 after that 30-yard run by Swift. Brian Harrigan was in the slot and now joins Fromm in the Georgia backfield. And it's a draw play to Harrigan. Nothing doing. Lost about a half yard.
Still plenty of time. Georgia has 2 timeouts. 3rd down and long.
Zachary Carter made the stop as we're under a minute. Swift on the sideline right now. They don't lose a lot with Harrigan, especially as a receiver. He's as sure-handed as Swift is. All right at the Gator 20-yard line. Clock will start at the snap, which is right now. Fromm, pressure coming. They pick that up. Now he's scrambling, looking for a receiver. Throws to the end zone. Just off the hands of Lawrence Cager. It would have been a touchdown had he been able to stretch out and hold on.
Well, Brian Harrigan does a good job of allowing Jake Fromm a little time to get out of the pocket. Peels back, and then Fromm has a free throw here. But finally a stop from that Florida defense. Had an opportunity to get it, but just out of his reach.
Rodrigo Blankenship hit one earlier. This will be a 37-yard field goal attempt. Hit from 31 a little bit earlier in the game. The kick is up and good. Georgia tacks on 3 more. Well, here we played a half in the biggest game in the SEC East of the season. We'll worry about the West next week, but we've got a half left here in Jacksonville. And as they head to the locker room, the 8th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs leading the 6th-ranked Florida Gators by 10. Georgia won it a year ago in a battle of top 10 teams. They had the lead going to the locker room this year. As we go down to Jamie.
Coach, before that last drive, you had nearly 3 times the pass yards that you did the rush. DeAndre Swift kind of took care of that for you. How important is it to balance that out to win the second half?
Well, we got to be able to run the ball better. That's what we got to do mostly. We did a good job converting 3rd downs, but those won't always be there.
How did you disrupt them defensively to only hold them to 3 points?
Well, we had a couple big stops. You know, we stopped them on 3rd down. They've hit some big plays on us. They got some really good players and some good weapons.
Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
You saw when Kirby has the lead in this matchup, he's been perfect. Can he stay that way? We'll find out. We played a half. Georgia 13, Florida 3 at the break as we head to Adams up here and the guys in the New York studios. And a 13-3 halftime lead for the 8th-ranked team of the country, leading number 6. Georgia will get the football first to start the 3rd quarter. McPherson will tee it up for the Gators. We're going to have to find some more offense in the second half. Zamir White and Brian Harrion are back deep for the Dogs. 3rd quarter, here we go. Harrion takes it at the 1. Had a nice return in the first half. This one's not too bad either. Out to the 27-yard line as we welcome you back to the booth. Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson, along with our crew here. Dave Moulton, Clint Deans, Barb Hanford, Mackenzie Lewis, George Hill, Scott Milikoff. We're all up here and ready to go. Not a lot of offense. 5 first downs for Florida in the first half, 4 of them to Pitts, the tight end.
It was, and only 1 catch by any other receiver, wide receiver. That group of wide receivers for Florida, that's been bad news. 3rd down is a mess for Florida. And Jake Fromm is spreading the ball around. 7 different players have caught a pass from Fromm in the first half.
Fromm pumped to the left, wants to come back to the right, and is just going to lay it out there for Harry. Did he catch that? He did.
That's a running back making that catch. He plucked one early on a nice throw from Fromm, but this one he goes out with 1 hand. Oh, I don't know.
First down in Florida territory at the 43. Play action. Fromm, pressure coming from Grenard. He got rid of it, and he got it on a strike to Lawrence Cager again. All the way to the 13-yard line.
Marco Wilson here is what we call a bail technique. He's showing man-to-man, but watch him bail. And that allows Cager to run his square in, 90 degrees, perfect route, and the ball is right on the numbers. And on that snap, Georgia had 6 offensive linemen on the field, so it showed run to the Florida defense, and they dropped for the play-action pass. Another crafty call. I think James Coley is having a good game mixing up his game plan.
30-yard pickup to the 13. Harrion will get stopped for no gain by Daryl Slayton.
You don't throw these 20-yard square ins if you don't do a good job. Cade Mays is at the tight end position. That's an extra offensive lineman. Look at that pocket. Bernard gets in there late, but not soon enough for the throw over the middle.
DeAndre Swift comes back in to the Georgia backfield on 2nd and 10.
This almost feels like that this Florida defense has to hold Georgia to a field goal here. Todd Grantham has to find some pressure on the quarterback.
Fromm. The throw outside is incomplete, intended for Tyler Simmons. Marco Wilson on the coverage. 3rd and 10.
Here's the down. Usually 3rd and 10. The defense is all excited about it. In this game, Florida fans are going, uh-oh, 3rd and long.
Yeah. First downs on 7 of those 8 completions. Does he have another one in him right here?
And remember, 4 touchdowns a year ago on 3rd down when they were 8 for 14. Same story 1 year later.
3 of those were off the arm of Fromm. The other was a run by Swift. And they're behind that offensive line of Georgia here from the 13-yard line.
Safety blitz.
Here comes the rush. The throws complete to Werner to the 10, but that's it. And it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Amari Burton does a good job that time. He knows that Jake Fromm's going to have to get rid of it quickly, so he lays back, allows the catch in front of him, come up and make a safe tackle, force the field goal.
And that's what they needed to do. They made the stop, kept everything in front of them. And now Blankenship will try another one. He's good from 31 and 37.
Todd Grantham said, to heck with it, I'm bringing the safety. I'm not going to watch another one of these.
So Rodrigo from 27 yards away. Kick is up and inside the right upright. Good. So Georgia took the opening possession of the 3rd quarter, kept it over 5 minutes on a 64-yard march to get 3 more. Well, to open up any quarter, or any 3rd quarter, I should say, with any kind of points, you take it, Gary. They had to settle for 3, and that's good for Florida's defense, but it's going to make it harder now on the Gator offense.
It is, but Kyle Trask has to open up the offense to other receivers and spread this Georgia defense out. Only 1 reception from Freddie Swain, Grimes, Jefferson, Hammond, Cleveland, Copeland. No catches in the game.
At the 20-yard line, when Florida gets some offense going. Quick slant, there's a good start. And about a 13-yard pickup to Freddie Swain.
Quick RPO right off the shoulder that time of Monty Rice, number 32. You look at him, 1 step by Rice to his left, and he throws it right off his right hand. The defensive coordinators are telling the linebackers now, don't be making tackles at the line of scrimmage. Make sure the ball's handed off. We'll take tackles 2 yards downfield. Stop the RPO.
They fake the handoff to Perine. The throw is low, but it's caught. Again, it's Freddie Swain. Back-to-back first downs.
Well, remember, this Florida team, as we mentioned, has had experience coming back. They trailed Kentucky, Kyle Trask's first game, 21-10.
Had the big 4th quarter against South Carolina.
Yes.
First down at the 45. Trask going right back to the left side and driving for about 7 yards. A tough catch by Tyree Cleveland.
And now they're starting to spread the ball out, as you see it. 6 wins by trailing at any point in the 4th quarter. So this isn't even the 4th quarter yet. They're
still got 90 seconds left.
Exactly.
Second and short. They haven't had that luxury too much today. Empty backfield. So Trask to throw. The quick slant is Swain again. And right now Georgia's having trouble keeping number 16 from catching the football.
Yeah, this time he gets inside Mark Webb, number 23, to the right side for Georgia. Easy. Again, that's pretty accurate throw, though. Not bad coverage on that slant. Forced a perfect throw, and Kyle did it.
They haven't been to the red zone yet. They're getting a little bit closer. Trask scans the field. Now he's in trouble. And he's going to go down about the line of scrimmage. Nolan Smith brought him down.
Monty Rice took away his throw. When Kyle looked to his right to dump it off, the linebacker, number 32, Monty Rice, was in his vision, and that's what forced it. Watch it. Coming out, Damian Pierce goes on the wide route. When he looks over to dump it off, he sees a red helmet. That forces him to go right up the middle and save the play.
Actually got about a half yard. Second down and 9.
But he didn't lose yards.
Right. Trask, short throw in the flat, complete to Pierce. Put down as soon as he caught it. Rice and company are there, and that's going to bring the 3rd quarter to a close.
I don't want to say that Florida's not running the ball well, but I heard Steve Spurrier said they need to run it.
If he said that, it's really been a rough 3 quarters. And at the end of 3 quarters, Georgia in front, but Florida on the move. The last 15 minutes will determine a lot, like who plays in Atlanta maybe, huh? End of 3, 16-3 Georgia. We'll return to Jacksonville right after this message and a word from your local station. A good look at the start of the fourth quarter, and the orange and blue on one half and split right down the middle with the red and black of the Georgia fans. And a 3rd down and 6 for Florida to start this fourth quarter, an all-important one for both these teams in the SEC. Kyle Trask with Lamichael Pirine now flushing out of the backfield. Trask, quarterback keeper on a draw, and he didn't get there.
Yeah, but I think this is 4-down territory.
So Trask is about 2 yards short. It's been a day as we welcome you back to the booth where Florida has had no running game at all.
Yeah, they've gained 21 yards total in the game, but they lost 29 in sacks. Thus, they have a negative situation in the rushing game. But that play was called because you knew Dan Mullen was going to go for it on 4th down. This will be a throw, though.
4th and a really long yard. Georgia, are they offside? Trask over the middle. It's complete. It doesn't matter. It's a 1st down, and it's Swain again. I thought the left side of the defense was in the neutral zone, but it doesn't matter on the completion.
Off timing route. Eric Stokes is in coverage. Again, another good ball thrown by Kyle Trask. Good coverage on the play. Had to put it low in his pocket, and he put it right there.
1st down at the 23 of Georgia. They fake it to Pirine. Trask is in trouble. Got away and throws to the end zone. Flag is down. It's a touchdown. Van Jefferson.
Hold on here. Let's see which way this is called. J.R. Reed and Van Jefferson are right there fighting for the ball. I think it was J.R. Reed. Let's see which way this is called. Van Jefferson has not had a catch. Out and up.
Pass interference on the defense, number 23. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, touchdown.
Mark Webb was the guy that was in the coverage that time. Van Jefferson, the best route runner for this Florida team. Good throw by Kyle Trask. The ball is across the line. Another look at it here with our pylon cam. Yes, breaks the plane. When he caught it, I think it broke the plane.
What a drive that Florida needed.
Remember the 4th down throw, the pocket throw he made with tight coverage. Frees it right as he catches it. It's not over then, but as he puts his hands on the ball, let's see if it breaks the plane. They're going to review it. Boy, that's really close, isn't it? That is really close. Out, no, out and up. Out and up. 50-50 ball, and Van Jefferson goes and gets it.
A huge play to cap the longest drive, both in yardage and number of plays today for Florida. That went 9 plays, the longest they've had. McPherson, the point after, is up and good.
So it feels like Georgia is dominating the game. They score a touchdown brought back by a holding penalty, but they've not been able to score touchdowns, and all of a sudden Florida back in the game.
80 yards and 9 plays. Van Jefferson's 4th receiving touchdown has the Gators right back in it. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, and our CBS crew in front of 84,789 at TIAA Bank Field, where Florida's just gone 80 yards to get to within a score.
Yeah, and now it feels, even though the Georgia all 6 drives have gone 7 plays or more, doesn't it feel like this is a pressure drive right now for Georgia?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This time they let the kick go, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line as we check in with Jamie.
Brad, we saw Cade Mays, the right guard for Georgia, go into the tent at the end of that last drive. He had his right hand fully taped back up, and it would appear as though he's available to Georgia once again. But on the defensive side, Tyson Campbell did go into the tent. Remember, he missed the last 4 games with a turf toe injury, so keep that in mind when that defense hits the field again.
All right, Jamie, thanks. And this has riled the Gator fans up. That touchdown. They're trying to make it tough on Jake Fromm and company as the Georgia offense works at the 25-yard line.
And with that last drive by Kyle Trask, he's a quiet 15 for 22 for over 200 yards.
Fromm, high snap, the toss, DeAndre Swift. Got about 5 out of that. So DeAndre getting up around 70 yards on the ground. Had his first 100-yard game in this matchup a year ago. Second and 5. Swift again. Going to be close but short. Third down and about a half yard.
Yeah, now if you're Kirby Smart, you built this team with these big, huge offensive linemen to win the line of scrimmage in the SEC. Let's see if they can push one across here.
They do, but it's a spin move by Swift that got it.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Grenard is going, oh, thought I had him.
He sure did. He came right around the corner. And if Swift hadn't spun off of it, it would have been short. Grenard comes right off the edge here. Watch him come from the right side. Gets a hold of him, but actually pulls him over for the first down.
Georgia changes up backs. James Cook and Zamir White come in. First and 10 at the 36. Cook crosses the field in motion. Fromm, here comes Grenard. Fromm got away from him somehow, and now he's still on his feet.
It's a big play. That was a big play coming out and getting out of this pocket. This could have been a sack on the play. Get a rush right in your face. Avoid 1, avoid 2, avoid 3. And get it into, what, second and medium. Big play by Jake Fromm.
Pickup of 3 after all that running, but second down and 7.
Florida Gators, no sacks in this football game. Some quarterback pressures, but no sacks.
DeAndre Swift back in with Fromm in the Georgia backfield. Play clock winding down. Gonna have to hustle. They just got it off. DeAndre Swift. And Swift takes the pile with him, a yard shy of the first down, but he's out to the 45.
Well, you mentioned how Kirby's built this team with strength inside. There's Kinley. Watch him turn out on this play. Get some push. That opens up that play. Your left guard gets movement up front. I think it was on Schuler, number 88, and that's what opened the play.
Jonathan Grenard was shaken up a little bit on that play, and he's going to come out, and that's what stopped play right now. Time's becoming a little bit of an issue. 11 minutes remaining.
Now you wonder if the play differential is going to pay off here in the fourth quarter. Can this Georgia offense push around injured and a lot of plays? It's 59-35 at this point in the game.
Another 20-plus rushing game for Swift. Will this be number 21? It will. It is. It's a first down. Here's the guys that came back today. Grenard with 6 tackles. Zuniga as well. Grenard on the sideline right now, though, shaking up. Jake Fromm off play action.
Deep.
He's going to go down the sideline. Wide open. Lawrence Cager. Touchdown. .52 yards for the Georgia score.
Plenty of time with the play action pass. Coming across and behind, Pickens clears it out with the deep run, and you had plenty of time with the call. This is the first pass of longer than 15 yards in the SEC for Georgia, and it changes the scoreboard.
Did we mention getting Lawrence Cager back would help Georgia's offense? He's been huge again today.
It was, but that was such a beautifully designed play.
And we got an extra point coming up for Georgia now.
Well, I think they're obviously going to go for 2, a 12-point game here. They're going to try to get it to 14 to make it a 2-touchdown game for Florida.
A bunch of receivers, Pickens, Robertson, and the tight end, Warner, down to the right from the 3-yard line for 2. Fromm, is he going to go to Cook? He wanted to. He comes back across the middle and got it to who else? Lawrence Cager.
Well, he does plug the ball really nicely, doesn't he? Catches with hands, a nice job by Fromm. Puts 3 players to the right, but he comes back to the guy that he feels most comfortable with, as Brad told you. Orange Cager healthy, the transfer from Miami, get to the goal line and post up. And he puts it right there.
Lawrence Cager with a big smile, as well he should. Career highs, 7, 132 and 1, and a 2-point conversion to make it a 2-touchdown game. Back in Jacksonville, Georgia fans happy right now at the 10-minute mark. Their team with a 14-point lead. Still 10 to go.
Yep, and all 3 timeouts. No reason to hurry. Just run your playbook.
Trask throws across the middle. It is almost intercepted by J.R. Reed.
Well, this one kind of took the breath away from me, because in the old days, a safety would have lit this running back up. There's J.R. Reed, but the new rules, this is how you're protecting the players. J.R. Reed doesn't play the man, he plays the ball. And look at the safety as he goes for the pick, because back in the day, that would have been a collision.
Ryan short-armed it a little bit because he saw Reed coming.
I don't blame him either.
I don't either. 2nd and 10.
That's how the rules pay off in the long term. More safety for the defenseless receiver.
Quick throw. Out to Swain. Swain weaving his way to the first down marker. He's got it. He's been huge the second half.
See, here's the mistake here. You got to know, if you're a defender, where your help is. Okay, these 2 guys have to know there's help on the inside. Watch, when the ball goes out there, you got to turn it back in. Mark Webb, number 23, is right there, but he can't get there. But at this point in the game, under 9 minutes, 14-point game, you're calling plays. You're thinking, unless it's 4th and real long, I'm going for it. 4 downs, calling plays on every series.
Back to 1st and 5 at the 47. Trask on a run all the way.
Yeah,
that's only a yard.
That's not going to gain a lot of yardage. And as Dan says, I like my quarterback to be willing, but that's about all it was right there. And Emory Jones came in for 1 run early in the game.
Right.
That's been it.
Joey Gatewood came in for 1 run for Auburn, and now he's somewhere else.
Now he's in the transfer portal.
8-10. Clock winding down. Minus 2 yards on the ground when you add in the sacks. 2nd down and 4. Swain in motion. Ryan. Boy, that was a little drop step that got him some room to work. And he's got a first down.
Yeah, Devontae Wyatt, number 95, thought he had a tackle for a loss. And Michael Ryan goes, hey, big fella, you can't handle me on this one. He gets his penetration, does everything right, and number 2 is just too quick for him. Again, 4 down calls. When you're calling plays right now, you're thinking, unless it's 4th and a long, I'm going for it.
Ryan comes out, Pierce comes in.
Changes your strategy on how you call plays.
Toss it to Pierce. He gets about 4 before he's pushed out on the sideline.
Actually, it gives you the luxury of running the ball more, because you know you have 4 plays to get 10 yards instead of 3.
Florida needs to do something in a hurry. Trask throws too high, intended for Fromm, the 2nd tight end. Stokes was covering.
Went with a bunch formation, flooded it. 1 guy goes deep, 2nd guy goes to the side, and Big Crow, Lance Crow, said, how can you overthrow me? I'm about 6'6".
Here we go on 3rd down again. Remember, they picked 1 up by penalty. Otherwise, 0 for 6. 3rd and 6. Need to get to the Georgia 34.
A lot of space for Kyle Pitts right here. Nobody's covering him. Late shift, they found him.
Trask throws complete. Swain again.
Yeah, first half was Kyle Pitts. 2nd half been Freddie Swain.
That's his 7th catch.
Works inside, beautiful. When you've got a player playing inside, you know the coaches said, don't get beat inside. So what do? You press that coverage. You don't go straight, you run right at him like Swain did, and that opens it up for an easy pitch and catch.
First third down conversion, it was a 15-yard run and catch to the 25 of Georgia.
Man coverage, here comes the blitz. They're coming.
Trask gets rid of it in a hurry to Pirine around the 20-yard line. And we're down to 6.5 minutes.
No choice. Georgia understands they got to get a stop, and Florida knows they need 7 points.
Second and 5 at the 20. Trask steps up in the pocket. Now the pocket collapses and he goes down at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a foot out of it.
Good coverage this time by that Georgia secondary. Nowhere to go with the ball. Had decent amount of time. Rode up into the pocket and then had to get what he could.
Back to the line is what he got. 3rd and 5. They picked up the last one.
First time Florida has been in the red zone all football game.
And they're barely there. Right on the 20-yard line. They're going to keep it on the ground, and it is Pirine for the first down. Good run.
Ness, because you can go for it on 4th down, you've got the liberty of running it on 3rd down. Just gives more plays to your offense. Good blocking up front that time. Gets the edge, and Pirine makes it another set of downs in the red zone for Florida.
Stone Forsythe, the left tackle, got a nice block to kind of open that gap up for Pirine to get it down to the 14-yard line. Empty backfield. Kyle Trask set to throw again. Throws the slant again. This one's broken up, incomplete, intended for Swain, and Mark Webb was right on his hip.
Well, right now the Georgia defensive backs are playing the slant. I think they need to duck inside right here and then go long. They need to do like one of those inside fades. The slot receiver takes a step in and then goes to the corner of the end zone. Because the Georgia the defensive backs are just standing there catching the slant right now. Jefferson in the position to do it. Blitz look from Georgia.
2nd and 15.
They come.
They're going to run it. Pirine looking for a place to sneak in there around the 15 or 14-yard line. So that's a 6th run on this drive after not being able to run most of the day.
And if you're a Florida fan, you're saying, well, why couldn't we do this before? The difference again, since you have 4 downs, you have the liberty to call it.
Trask looks to the sideline, comes back in to face a 3rd and 10 at the 4-minute mark. The throw's complete. Again, Jefferson, he's knocked out of bounds, 2 yards shy of the first down.
Yeah, interesting. Georgia that time drops 8. And Trask still knows where to go with the ball quickly on the play. Goes to the wide receiver, nobody on top of him, and it's an easy pitch and catch. I think that even might have been a mistake by Eric Stokes. He should have been up on there and forcing a deeper throw.
If you're a Florida fan, this might be your only chance if you don't pick up the 4th down. You might not get it back. 4th and 2. 4 receivers to Trask right and Pitts to the left.
I think Kirby called the timeout here.
He did. Didn't like the way things were lined up. He runs down the sideline and calls it. And we'll see 4th and 2 when we come back. 3:28 remaining in regulation at Jacksonville. The 16th play of the Florida drive coming up. And Gary, it's 4th down and your hopes for the East right here.
And remember, this Florida offense, their receivers is balanced. 8 different players have caught passes for over 150 yards. They could throw it to anyone. You got to believe Pitts and Swain are the 2 most likely. Pitts is to the bottom of the screen. Swain is in the slot.
4th and 2. Quick throw, wide out screen. Got it complete. Trayvon Grimes, it's 1st and goal.
They went with a wide receiver screen, a tunnel screen to the outside. Quick throw, everybody inside's blocking. Only one receiver had a chance to get the ball. The other receivers were blocking.
Now they come up and hurry. Everybody bunched in tight at the 2-yard line. Play fake to P-line, the throw. Touchdown, Freddie Swain.
Unbalanced line to the right, and then a play action pass to the right. Look at only 2 people to the left side of the center. Swain's going to just slide out. Quick fake, slide him out, and he's got him.
75-yard drive in 17 plays.
17 plays, and they utilized 4th down smartly. Kyle Trask, he had 3 fourth-quarter touchdown drives against Kentucky when he came in. Now he's got 2 in this game.
McPherson for the point after. It's good. With 3 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in regulation. First Florida quarterback with 2 or more touchdown passes against Georgia in 10 years. And he got it to Freddie Swain to cap a 75-yard march. They were 2 for 2 on 4th down in that drive, and they get the touchdown. 3:11 remaining in the 4th quarter. Florida with a touchdown after a nearly 7-minute drive has cut the lead to 7.
I'd be pooching this down about 20 yards over the front line.
And it's a line drive. DeAndre Swift is a guy back for Georgia. Is going to take it on a bounce at the 20. He's not normally their kick returner, but he of course is their tailback.
And trusted tailback.
Yes.
Can this Florida defense get a 3 and out and get the ball back to their offense? They're in that bare look.
Jake Fromm all by himself now because Swift empties the backfield. It throws to Robertson, who somehow weaved his way. Looked like he was going to lose yardage, and he got positive yardage.
Of course, Florida will take their first of 2 remaining timeouts. Solomon Kindley got out there and made an important block, the big left guard.
Everybody's taking a big deep breath, no matter who you're cheering for, who you're booing, whatever. 7-point game, 2:57 left in the 4th. 2nd down and 8 for Georgia. DeAndre Swift, nowhere to hide that time. Got only a yard.
Wanted to point out a really smart play by Demetrius Robertson on 1st down. The wide receiver screen stays inbounds, gets inside, and then stays inside, takes the hit. A lot of guys run out of bounds. That would have stopped the clock.
Florida can't stop it anymore. Georgia needs to get to its own 42-yard line. 3rd down and 7.
Do you dare allow Jake Fromm to throw the ball here?
He's won you 29 ball games so far as a starter.
Yeah, here's the problem. If you run it, you're not likely to make a 1st down.
The guy that he has gone to when he really needed something has been Lawrence Cager, who's to the top of your screen. Here comes the blitz. Fromm throws, completes it. Eli Wolf, the tight end.
What a play. And Jake Fromm had to throw it flat-footed. Brant Stewart undercut the throw, but Eli Wolf, right here, I think that's him. He comes out, Stewart tries to get underneath it. He does not. Watch Fromm throw it. He can't step into it, but the transfer from Tennessee may decide the Florida-Georgia game. No way to step into that throw. Sometimes you just have to throw it flat-footed, and he did.
It's funny, we talked to Kirby Smart about the fact that Georgia has not utilized their tight ends a lot this year. He said, we don't have a guy like Pitts. Right now, he's pretty glad he had a guy that was wearing orange this time last year.
Absolutely. Now the ball's on the ground.
And it's DeAndre Swift, the cut, the spin, and he's to the 40-yard line.
Nice job that time. Remember, the blitz was on. Vontrell Miller. Watch DeAndre Swift take out Miller on the play and allow the throw. DeAndre Swift with the big block on the blitz to allow the pass.
And the clock winds. And it's winding out on the Gators. Jake Fromm will use all the time he can before he claps those hands. Wolf, the guy he got it to, comes in, sets up on the right side of that 22-yard gain on 3rd and long. DeAndre Swift. Ooh, man, what a collision with Grenard again.
Boy, that Grenard, what a warrior he is, the transfer from Louisville. First game back, probably not in great shape. He takes on the tight end, Wolf, with his arms stretched out, and then he comes back in and makes the tackle. What a football player that kid is.
Down under a minute.
3rd and 6. Georgia 12 for 17 on 3rd down in this game.
Last year, 3rd down was the key to beating Florida. It's been the key to having this lead right now.
8 for 14 last year, 12 for 17 this year. I'd be just taking a knee here.
3rd and 7. DeAndre Swift, the stiff arm, is going the wrong way, broke 2 tackles, and stays in bounds.
Yeah, game's over. They could have just took a knee, but they killed a little bit more time.
And it's a killer of a loss for Florida. Jubilation on the Bulldog sideline.
It was a war.
Hoping to get back to Atlanta for the SEC championship. They just took a giant leap in that direction. What a football game.
What a well-played game. No turnovers in the game.
Yep. Jake Fromm is with Jamie.
Look at this unbelievable scene between Coach and Jake Fromm.
Guys, yo, hold on. Hold on.
I'm going to get Jake.
Don't knock her down. Hold on.
That was quite the emotional moment with Coach. What did you just say to him?
He said, don't ever doubt Jake Fromm. And I'm just so thankful. I got a head coach who believes in me and believes in this team. I'm so thankful to be here.
Did you feel like people were doubting you the last couple of weeks?
You know, yes and no. It's a lot of talk out there, and you know, you can choose what you want to listen to, and I choose not to listen to it. I'm here. I'm invested with this team, and I love my guys, and they came out and played great today.
What about the trust and the faith this coach and this team has in you on passing the ball in a 3rd down decision?
Yeah, that's a big time down. There's a lot riding on that 3rd down for sure. We did great on 3rd down all night. I just think it comes down to trust and faith, and Coach just had faith in it, and had faith in Eli. He went up, made a great play, and man, it's awesome.
You know how cool this game is. How special was it to bring in 2 transfers in Lawrence Cager and Eli Wolf and show up what they could do here?
Yeah, they did. They showed up and balled out. Really thankful they're here on our team, and they played an unbelievable atmosphere. Really glad they're here on our team, and they played great.
Jake, thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Jake Fromm now 30-6 as a starter. 31st time he's won a football game. He didn't start the one where he took over and never looked back. The standings updated. Georgia goes to the head of the class in the East at 4-1, and Florida falls a game off. So a giant step towards Atlanta for the Georgia Bulldogs again here in Jacksonville. That's going to wrap it up. 85,000 watched it with us. For Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, Brad Nessel saying so long from Jacksonville. Final score, Georgia 24, Florida 17. College football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage is coming up after these messages. So long from Jacksonville.